Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, I'm going to talk about JioFiber long-term review, aka I have already used this service for long enough, so I'm going to give you a long-term review. Now you have to understand about me. I live in a small town. Basically, I don't have an airport. It's not a large place. Even if I say its name, you will not find it easily. So it's a very small place. Now I got trolled by Jio. Basically, whenever Jio calls you, it's like, okay, you can register yourself. Hey, I want JioFiber connection, and they will call you when they can actually give you. So they called me and it took 6 months after that. The reason was that somebody, like the contractor who was responsible for laying down the fiber, messed that part up, so it has to be all undone and then redone. So it took much longer, but it should not happen to you. So if you get a call from Jio, it's like after you have registered for interest, they should be able to give you the connection in next week or something like that. So that was a bad case scenario for me, because I know for a fact I got, like, all my relatives who were interested, they got the connection in the same town much early before because of my area. So not a very good start, but you know, things happen. And I got the connection in January 2020, so fundamentally long enough, as in like more than 6 months. And installation was surprisingly painless for an Indian installation kind of system. It's like, you know, they came, they did their job, they went, everything was fine, everything was dandy. Again, splicing the fiber took a bit longer, but that was supposed to be expected. Like, fiber splicing is not easy. So that but all of that was done on a Sunday. Everything was taken care of. That was awesome. And as of now, as in like multiple months of experience have taught me, the uptime is genuinely good, aka the connection will not go down. I don't have to be in a position where, like, my old local fiber provider was like, not fiber, WiMAX provider, it was like it literally went down regularly. It's like, oh, you know, today is down, it wasn't gonna come back at night. That never happened with you. Only one time, and they said, sir, we are doing maintenance and it's gonna come back in 4 hours. It came back in like 35 minutes. And unfortunately, something bad happened when the lockdown initiated, so they could not fix it. So during the whole lockdown, I did not have fiber. But again, it's not Jio fault, because the moment lockdown was lifted, they came, they fixed it, they went out. So I don't judge them for that. And after that, not a single incident after that, and everybody else had amazing experience. So uptime, GG. So what are the problems with this situation? Now you might be mindful, things have changed recently, but it has really weird limitation. When the system started, it was like, what the hell are you doing? And it has useless add-ons. Like, again, some people may find useful add-ons as, like, you know, landline or things of that nature, but most of the add-ons were useless. For example, 4K set-top box. Here's deal, anybody who has 4K TV has that set-top box built into the TV by default, and that would be much higher quality. So fundamentally, that was like useless garbage added on, and that was like, okay, you are wasting your money and, like, you know, customers' money, because customer have to pay one way or the another sooner or later. But the part that was painful was like, why the heck it had 10% upload speed? And this point, Jio was like doing what we call, I am evil now. So they were like, they trolled whole country. It's like, once the what we call beta connections were given out, everybody was doing the review, testing and all that. Everybody was getting symmetric connection. It's like 100 Mbps download, 100 Mbps upload, 250 Mbps download, 250 Mbps upload. Everything was awesome. People bought connection based on that. Hey, the connection looks good. But after the connection was actually started to, like, you know, this is the final connection, it was like, oh, no, we only gonna give you 10% upload. Why? That was a physical case with physical limitation of ADSL, asymmetric digital subscriber line system. Why the hell that was there in the freaking fiber system? And it physically it not need to be, because, you know, in beta you already tested it, it does work. So that was fundamentally frustrating. It's like, you know, they were trolling the customer, so that was painful. And post FUP, basically after you got FUP speed, basically 500 GB or 250 GB, the speed dropped down to kbps. Like, you will go from 250 kbps, I'm saying 250 mbps to 256 kbps. Like, seriously, like, they will drop down to kbps. Now I have been using fiber connection for a very long time in Bangalore, and it was good. And they had a very interesting policy at fiber I was using. It was like, if you keep increasing your basically package, what we call plan, basically if you keep upgrading your plan, your FUP will also increase. So you will go, like, in a basic plan you will get only 2 Mbps after the speed is up, speed is done. Then you will get 4 Mbps after it's done. At some point you can push it to so much that is like, yeah, after FUP is done, it's like 12 Mbps. I'm like, bro, I'm cool with that. So it's not there. Like, in Jio system, you could have spent thousands of rupees, like hundreds of dollars, and you still would have, like, no kbps after that it's done. So that was like really like freaking really. And then the data cap was really low. Now that itself is not an issue, but because they were tricking people into believing that they are giving you what we call TV, and people connected, and like when was the last time you thought about how much data your TV is consuming? You're not supposed to think about it. That's why it's called television. So fundamentally, a lot of people like, hey, I'll get the minimum connection, I'm gonna watch TV, and there's like boop, data cap is gone. So fundamentally, lot of problems were there. Like connection uptime was good, stability was good, but everything else was like really. Then magic happened. Competition happened. So Airtel Extreme, which is providing similar kind of service to JioFiber, was launched in India as in like grand opening. It's like, okay, Airtel is now in the racetrack and they're gonna compete against Jio. And overnight, Jio went from gibberish to awesome overnight. It's like almost went from cartridge to ink tank printers in one day. So bandwidth now became symmetric. It's like as exactly it was promised, as it's supposed to be, it became back. So no longer that 10%. And now if you buy the pamphlet, first thing it will say, oh, we give you symmetric connection. I'm like, you should not have been giving a symmetric connection on a symmetric physical network. But again, I'm happy that was solved. And the data cap now in every plan until like 3,000 rupees is around 3.3 terabytes. That's good enough. Like you can get this for like, that's a good thing. At this point in time, apparently Indian government did something. So every service provider is giving you minimum 3 terabytes. So 3 terabytes, and you will get that for, even if you are paying like 500 rupees, like with all tax included, to 5,000 rupees, you will get this. And if you want to go, let's say 3 terabyte is not enough, especially if you are running a small office of heavy media consumption, you may want to go to 6 terabyte. You can go to that. So data cap is now 3.3 terabyte for a normal household. That's more than good enough, including TV consumption of 4K. That's good enough. And after FUP, still 1 Mbps. Now again, not completely awesome, but at least you can use WhatsApp and emails and all that jazz. So I'm really happy for this, and now I truly experienced why people say no, your competition is a good thing. I'm very thankful that this company came and fixed Jio. So I'm very happy, because I was like literally when this was launched, next day I'm getting SMS. Now the connection will be symmetric. Now you will get 250 Mbps download, 250 Mbps upload. Then the next day message came, my plan has been upgraded to higher tier. Now I'm gonna get basically 300 Mbps. I paid for 250. So I'm really happy with this. At this point in time, Jio has fixed almost every single problem I had. Asymmetric data connection, weird FUPs, all of those has been taken care of. So does that mean it's perfect? No, there is one weak link that is tangibly is gonna annoy the hell out of you. Is basically the router sucks and the TV box sucks. Now my father, again, he's retired, so he had a bit of free time, and like again, who does not have free time in lockdown? So he was watching YouTube on that fiber box, and almost every other day or third day, it was like not responding. Like it used to freeze up quite often. It was like a regular thing. You have to restart it, and a router is really bad. Now be mindful. I hope, I pray that we in my area, as in like we got a bad bunch of router has been sold in like big trucks, like we got the bad slot, so to say, like bad lot, and it's like every router in the slot is broken, because oh my god, it's really bad. As in like person that is here like in that direction, he has an issue where his router literally needs to be reset so he can rewrite the Wi-Fi ID and password, because it automatically keeps changing. This person literally in this direction has an issue where he like it flat out stops working. Flat out, it's like nope, goes nope. So fundamentally, everywhere I'm talking about, every person I'm interacting with, they're like, dude, router is really not working. It's like flat out not good. And if you watch my early review of Jio, like when I actually got the connection, that time I noticed something odd. Like this is a gigabit equipment. It's working on freaking fiber. Somehow it has USB 2.0 chipset. How the heck that's what's even possible, that fiber and USB 2.0 at the same time on a GPON connection, as in like it's not EPON, it's GPON. So how the heck that happened? So what can you do? Basically, if you have this in your home, plug it in a situation where it's like you can turn it on and off regularly, do that. Or if you're like, hey, I want to be absolutely reliable, I would urge you to buy a smart plug and set it on a timer. Don't connect it with internet or anything like this. Again, if this breaks, your internet system will stop working. Just set it on a timer, local based timer. Whereas like, okay, from let's say 3 p.m. shutdown, wake up at 4 p.m. a.m. I'm saying, sorry about that. 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. like stay off, and during that 1 hour cool down, relax, whatever you have to do, and then come back on, because it does take quite a while to come back online. So be mindful of that. So don't do it during work time. I would urge you, if you are running a small startup or work from home kind of scenario, do it at night time and set that using a smart timer if you want to be automated. But if you are running something serious, like no, I need good connection on this, I would urge you to buy your own GPON. Unfortunately, GPONs are not as common as a combined unit that we are getting, which has modem, which has a router, which has switch, which has access point combined into one. What you call a router nowadays, that's how many equipment it has inbuilt now. So GPON is not that popular yet, so you may have to like dig very hard, go through hundreds of Amazon listing to may find 2 or 3 options, and it won't be from popular brand. So GPON is not that popular, but is there. You can get it from TP-Link. And if you are like serious about it, like no, we are talking about tech professional who know what they are doing, I would urge you to get into Netgate. You can buy this fiber box which has a connection for SFP module, and you can buy SFP module that will allow you to connect the fibers directly to that, and then you can utilize all the benefits of basically pfSense. So you can do that. Be mindful, like that's what you have to do if you really want to rely on it, because everything outside this router is awesome. It's not like, oh, their mobile equipment, mobile tower, they are giving connection from mobile tower. That connection is absolutely solid, robust, rarely goes down, and whenever it goes down, it's like you get a SMS like, we are doing maintenance, it will be down for 1 hour or 2 hours, something like that. So fundamentally, the most painful aspect is just the goddamn router. I'm not happy with this. Nobody is happy with this at my area, and I really hope that it's just like, we got a bad lot. So be mindful of it when you are buying JioFiber connection. So this was my presentation on long-term review of JioFiber. I hope you liked it, learn from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.